Hey there everyone, BJ Porter of the Porter Report here. With the release of The Conjuring Last Rites this past weekend, summer movie season 2025 is officially over. This has been a whirlwind of a few months, but I'm honestly so grateful for all the moments that transpired at the cinema this season. So today, I wanted to take a moment and reflect on the summer movie season that was, and of course express my gratitude for all the love and support I've gotten during this period. So let's gather around, reminisce, and talk about it. Summer movie season 2025 certainly had its fair share of incredible moments throughout its duration. Right from the jump, there was no shortage of explosive action or hard-hitting emotion that set the tone for what we had in store for the season. I mean, who could have predicted that a movie about a bunch of down-on-their-luck and emotionally broken miscreants would end up being the best Avengers movie since Endgame? No, seriously, that is exactly what happened. Thunderbolts, or as we should now call it, New Avengers, brought action, laughs, and a deeply nuanced brand of storytelling to the MCU, making it one of the best entries in the Heroverse in quite some time. It was also emotionally satisfying to see Tony Todd get a proper farewell in one of the most critically acclaimed entries in the Final Destination franchise. Rest in peace, King, you will truly be missed. I would also be remiss if I didn't mention the insanity that took place on Memorial Day weekend. One movie that featured one of the greatest action stars of our time, and the other movie featuring one of the biggest troublemaking duos of all time. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning ended a nearly 30-year era of top-tier blockbuster filmmaking that has continually set a standard for the genre. All while Disney's latest live-action remake brought heart and chaos, all while lighting up the box office, becoming one of the highest-grossing movies of the year. While we're on the subject of remakes, I understand that the practice is frowned upon given that a lot of them end up being average to below average. But once in a blue moon, one comes along that ends up being pretty above average, if not just as good as the original. I literally said all that to say, man, the live-action How to Train Your Dragon was truly something special. Especially if you were lucky enough to catch it in IMAX like I did. Yes, at its core, this is a shot-for-shot live-action retelling of the movie we know from 15 years ago. That said, all the love, care, and detail that went into the cinematography, the production design, the costume designs, and the performances cannot be ignored. This is one of the rare occasions where you can actually watch the remake or the original animated film and get the same emotional impact from either version. I am super excited that so many new fans have fallen in love with these characters in this world, and I'm eagerly anticipating returning to this version of the world in a couple of years in the live-action adaptation of one of my favorite entries in the original animated trilogy. Speaking on the other movies that came out in month 2, as tragic as it was to see the low box office results, I still stand by the fact that Elio deserves your time and attention. It truly is a well-made film, even if it isn't as memorable as the Pixar films that came before it. The movie should be out on home release pretty soon and on Disney Plus soon after, so you have plenty of time to experience it at your leisure, which I highly recommend that you do. It was also fun to be able to experience the world of Formula One in one of the most intense and thrilling cinematic experiences I've had this year. F1 the movie easily could have been looked at as a $200 million advertisement for the sport, but to my surprise and delight, it ended up being a gritty, grounded, and emotionally jubilant experience that you guys had to experience in theaters. Seeing this in IMAX was an absolute blast, and I pity anybody who didn't get a chance to do so. But now we gotta talk about one of the biggest movie months of the year, which of course was July. July came in with a lot of hype, and I'm happy to say that all the movies released during the month did not disappoint. Well, almost all of them. While I can confidently say that 2 of the 3 movies that were set to come out in July were an absolute blast, one really broke my heart in a very personal way. Look, I'll be the first to say that I'm a huge fan of the Jurassic Park franchise. But man, Jurassic World Rebirth was a huge letdown. This is a classic case of everything looking good on paper, but when translated to screen, it did not hit the way it was supposed to. Let me make it clear that this is not a knock on Gareth Edwards, who I believe is a very talented director. But all throughout the movie, there was a strong lack of energy that was present, despite the artistry that was put on screen. Also, on top of that, there were a lot of things in the movie that really did rub me the wrong way. The disrespect for the Raptors in this movie is diabolical. You made an awesome new design for these characters in the franchise, only for them to get killed in the background out of focus as part of a bathroom joke. Boy, y'all are so dirty for that. Clearly, me and the Raptor stands are not pleased. Now, don't get me wrong, there were some great scenes in the movie like the T-Rex raft scene. But what would have made those scenes even better is if I actually cared about the characters that were in danger during those scenes. This is an element where the movie falls short, whereas the other Jurassic Park movies did not. If you don't have a level of investment in the characters on screen, no amount of large-scale action sequence is going to help the movie in any way, shape, or form. Now, don't get it twisted. Thanks to this movie's box office, we're definitely going to be getting more Jurassic Park movies down the pipeline. But I really hope that some major changes are made to ensure that the franchise gets some of its mojo back. But then we move over to the other 2 big movies of July, which of course features the start of James Gunn's DCU and the start of Marvel Phase 6. I am honestly over the moon that we have a Superman movie that features a version of this character that I honestly cannot wait to grow with over the course of the DCU's continued expansion. To have a Superman that is kind, compassionate, and empathetic while still being about truth, justice, and the American way is such a refreshing change of pace, and to be honest with you, sorely needed in today's climate. The future is looking bright for DC, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. And trust and believe we're just getting started with Kal-El and his family. Speaking of family, it truly was an amazing moment to see a version of Marvel's first family that is hands down one of the best cinematic interpretations ever delivered. I instantly fell in love with all of these characters because they felt like the version of the team that we've been begging for years. Also, I think it's safe to say that this is the best and strongest version of Sue Storm we've ever gotten. Mama Bear does not play when it comes to her cub. Marvel Phase 6 is off to a great start, and I cannot wait to see these characters again in the big assembly taking place in December of next year. Victor's on his way, y'all. And even with August and September being light this year, I don't want to ignore any of the stuff that came out in the final month. Who knew that a legacy sequel featuring Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan would end up being one of the most heartwarmingly nostalgic time capsules put on film this year? And then closing out the month with 2 animated bangers in The Bad Guys 2 and Nejat 2 to put an incredible bow on what's been a great summer at the movies. Overall, it's safe to say that this summer movie season was truly one to remember. Every year I do this, it's always fun and exciting to share my passion for the movie-going experience. In past years, I've only done it via my blog. But this is the first time I've stepped out of my comfort zone and shared my passion on camera. Believe me when I tell you, it is not as easy as it looks. The amount of movies that were coming out at such a rapid rate forced me to think proactively and put myself in a position where I could work at my best. While I didn't cover every single movie that came out during the summer movie season, I still wanted to make it my mission that you were aware of the movies that I didn't extensively cover. And this is something you should expect more of in the future. Even if I don't see a film that you're personally excited about, I still want to try to make people aware of its existence. As the channel grows, I want to continue to improve my skills and deliver the type of content that you guys want to see in an environment that is welcoming to those who value honest and thoughtful opinions about the stories and characters that we all love. Trust me when I say that the love and support that I've gotten over these past few months has not gone unnoticed, and I look forward to having you guys along for the ride for years to come. But on that note, the time has come to throw it over to you guys. Head to the comments below and give me your pick for the best movie of summer movie season 2025. You got a whole lot of options to choose from, and I can't wait to hear your picks. I want to send a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you who supported the channel throughout the summer movie season, and I look forward to seeing you all again next year. Stay tuned for more videos and reviews throughout the remainder of 2025, including the next video where we'll go over what's coming in the fall and winter months. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to stop on by. Thank you all for joining me for Summer Movie Season 2025, and until next time, I'm BJ Porter, and this has been The Porter Report.